Hello there and welcome to my channel. This is Non-Gone and today we're going to be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is a full hard mode playthrough. We're calling it a stay bad playthrough. And what that means is we're going to try and beat the entire hard mode without getting good. We'll be ignoring most of the mechanics that the game has to help you with these battles, and we'll just be speccing ourselves out so that we can tank every attack and hit things with our stick until they fall down. I'm going to go through a real quick loadout here before we get started because we got something special today lined up. First of all, this is Chapter 9, which is now the 10th video in this playlist. And this is the first video with a battle that I think will be extremely difficult and I'm real nervous about. It is the Hell House. So if you skipped all the other videos and tuned in this time, this is why I'm going to be a little bit more deliberate about loadouts and equipment and stuff. Hell House is pretty difficult, and for the first time, I think in the whole series, we'll be changing our loadout mid-chapter. So that's how serious this one is. And then I think we don't have to worry about it until Chapter 17 again. Anyway, Cloud and Aerith are going to be our party for this chapter, and we gave them the hard edge and reinforced staff, you know, because of the attack stat. The armor is just anything with good stats and 3 or 4 materia slots. And then this accessory is very important, the Gotterdammerung. We got this from beating the Top Secrets challenge in Chapter 17 in the Shinra Combat Simulator. If you want to know how to do that before you start your hard mode playthrough, I suggest you do it. You can do it with a fairly low level loadout. I mean, you have to have max materia and stuff, but that is the first video in this series, so go back in the playlist to the first video. That'll show you how to get this. This accessory allows you to start every battle with your limit break. Very important, very helpful for the mob battles, and it has an added side effect, which is that you don't have to heal very much, which saves on MP, which is a big scarce resource in hard mode. Anyway, materia. We have 1 offensive materia equipped. That is dependent on what the majority of the enemies in the chapter are weak to. In this case, we're going to be fighting a lot of human enemies who are normally weak to fire. We attach that to elemental so that every attack you do has that added damage boost from hitting with the element that they're weak to. 2 HP ups, 2 MP ups, just keeping the numbers high so they go down slower. Everybody has the ability to heal and revive, and then we've got First Strike as well. And that's pretty much it. You can see here that Aerith has essentially the same thing, Fire and First Strike, Heal and Revive. She's got Magnify attached to her healing, which means she'll cure both people with 1 cast, so that's great. Your summons don't really matter. They give you, we're not going to summon anybody until Hell House probably, but just equipping them gives you stat boosts, so just pick one and put it on. I always put Bahamut on Cloud. I don't know, feels like the right thing to do. So that's basically our loadout. Our general strategy is to walk up to things, use cross slash as our limit break, and then follow that up immediately with triple slash, which usually will end most of the battles. If anything's still alive, then we kind of go from there. But again, it's mostly physical attacks, very little magic use, as you'll see. I'm normally just kind of do this as we're going, but this is going to be a little different this time because as an added bonus, so we're going to find Hell House in a little bit. There will be chapters in this video once I do the description, and I will put all the loadouts in the description too. So if you want to skip ahead to Hell House, that's the real difficult battle. So that'll be fine. In the meantime, we've got to walk up this tube here, and it takes about 15 minutes to fight our way through. There's nothing different about any of these battles than what we've been fighting the whole game. So there's really not a whole lot of commentary that's necessary. Like I said, cross slash, triple slash, end it. Heal a little bit if you want. There's a bench halfway through here if you can use that. There is a spot about halfway through where you can either go around to the right or go down in the tube. I suggest you go around to the right. If you go in the tube, you get a chest, which you don't need. And when you come back, you got to fight 2 smoggers, which can mess you up pretty good. Again, here's our first battle, so we're just going to do this. But other than that, there's really no strategy. There's really no need for me to give you any commentary. And if you want, you can mute the next 15 minutes and probably be okay. It's just going to be me hitting the same 2 commands all the time. This guy might be a little bit more of a problem because he flies, so if you don't get there quick enough, you can't kill those drakes because they get up in the air and you're a ground person. If you do press square a lot, you will jump up to their level, and also Aerith has ranged attacks, so that works. But other than that, you really could just mute this and get to where you got to go. These ladder puzzles are not all that difficult, and you can watch them without sound. So, however, if you would like, I am going to be giving a little tribute to my mom today, because as I sit here, tomorrow is Mother's Day. And I've been thinking a lot about this as I'm building this channel, and, who I'd really like to thank, and who kind of has made me who I am. And gosh, there's really nobody that stands more at the front of that list than my mom. So I feel it's appropriate as we're walking through here to just kind of give her a little shout out. I don't know if she'll ever listen to it. She probably will, because I'll probably make her. But, that's just what we've got. And so, like I said, Mother's Day is tomorrow. I don't know if you celebrate Mother's Day in your country. If you don't, you should. Moms are pretty amazing influences in people's lives. And, I know mine, I could thank her every day, and it would pale in comparison to everything she's done for me over the years of my life and the influence that she's had. So this is particularly special right now because I'm taking on a lot of projects that I'm new to, and a lot of my courage to do such things came from Mom. So I love you, Mom, and I'm really glad that you're my mom, and I know you're going to listen to this because I'm going to make you. So my mom was born and raised in a real small town about an hour south of Chicago in Illinois. She had 5 brothers and sisters, a real strict kind of religious family. They worked real hard. Grandpa worked real hard. Grandma raised all 6 kids, that kind of thing. They're just that kind of typical situation. And there's a lot of love in the family, though. I didn't know my grandma that well. But Grandpa was really great. I mean, he was the kind of guy that, he thought smoking was a sin, but he would insist that you smoke in his house in the winter because he didn't want you to be cold. That kind of guy. So that's kind of how my mom grew up, and with that kind of mentality of love and caring and stuff. And that's wonderful. She was 18 or 19 years old, out of high school, a little small town, working, I think, either at a library or like waiting tables at a restaurant or bakery or something, taking some classes, at the local college there and stuff. Just, that kind of thing you wouldn't really think you'd really make something out of yourself doing that. Comes across this crazy guy with a Trans Am or whatever it was, an afro from 2 states over, talking good things about, really wanting to be something and make something out of this. And, that really suits her fancy. And, to her credit, she has the courage to pack everything up, sell everything, jump in this guy's car and drive off into the unknown. And almost 50 years later, she's still married to that guy. That's my dad. They've raised 3 kids who turned out pretty good, if I do say so myself. And they're about as happy as any couple that you would ever see. And just because she had the courage to do something like that and the persistence to see it through and do a good job at it, I think that's really amazing. And that's pretty much how this lady's done everything else in her life, too. She decides office work is the best for her. So with no experience whatsoever in office work, she goes and teaches herself how to type and teaches herself how to do shorthand. For those of you that are younger than 60, shorthand is what you do when your boss is trying to tell you to write something down and you can't take it word for word. So there was a way to do it without recording devices back in the day. But she learns all this stuff on her own, no formal training or anything. Gets a job as a secretary, turns that into a 40-year career that ends up in the executive wing of a Fortune 500 company. I mean, started 2 successful businesses because she wanted to spend more time with the kids. Decides she wants to take up running, even though she's got a crooked back and one leg's longer than the other. She figures out a way to kind of hook her long leg around every time so that it doesn't hurt. Just absolutely bonkers. No, very, very little chance of success in that venture, and here we are, successful. So, let's see, what am I doing? Sorry, I got a little distracted talking about my mom here. We're just going to get this out of the way. Normally you do this and, yeah, there we go. Okay. Normally you do this and you put it in the slot over there to the right, and then she gets up and gets her magnify materia, but we already got that. So anyway, back to my mom here. So she decided she liked gardening, and her garden is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. It's got raised beds and hundreds and hundreds of plants, and they all come out good. And she's like making salads in January when plants aren't even supposed to grow. This lady's even got plants called ketchup and French fries that are tomatoes on the top and potatoes on the bottom. Same freaking plant, tomatoes and French fries, or tomatoes and potatoes come out of there. Just what? How do you do that? Well, I'll tell you how to do that. You have a little courage to get something started. You have a little inquisitiveness to go learn about it so you get better. And you have a lot of persistence to keep practicing until you succeed. And that really is the epitome of my mom. And I can't say enough about it. She's always there to help anybody if she needs it. She did all this stuff in her life while still raising 3 kids. Always had food on the table, kept our bellies full, always had time to help us with our homework. Like when I'm feeling down or when I need support emotionally, she's there and the first person I look towards. Just great for advice, just everything, just an awesome lady. Everybody she's known is a better person for having known her. Everything she's done is done well. And the reason I bring this up in the context of a YouTube video is I am very nervous about doing something like this, but just the inspiration that I've had from my mom to know that a little bit of courage will get you started and a lot of persistence will keep you going has been invaluable in anything. I mean, they're coming over tomorrow, and let's see, we're going to do a ray of judgment here. Like I said, trying to do this while I'm playing, probably not the smartest choice, but what I lack in talent, I make up for in persistence. Thanks for that, Mom. Anyway, back to that while we're fighting. It looks like we're not in any danger of dying or anything, so that's always good. I do have to focus just a little bit. These guys aren't necessarily the easiest enemies to be fighting on hard mode while you're talking about other things. So yeah, anyway, I'm undertaking a lot of projects lately that I'm new at, and I have the confidence that I can succeed as long as I'm willing to do enough work to learn what's required. And, I owe my mom a lot for that. So like I said, I'm making you listen to this. I love you, Mom, and thanks for everything that you do and everything that you've done. Happy Mother's Day. Hopefully the lessons you've taught me can be now expanded to a wider audience. Anybody that's listening that listened to my tirade as I'm walking through fighting these people poorly can apply this to yourself when you want to do something, even if you're nervous. I hate public speaking. I hate being in public. I don't want to be known, but I love doing this type of thing. I love showing people. I love helping people learn. And it's these things that I'm able to do through this channel. Hopefully I will have many, many more games and many more opportunities to do that. And for those of you out there that are worried that you're not good enough to do something, just remember, if you have a little bit of courage to get started and a little bit of inquisitiveness to learn what is required and a lot of persistence, you can succeed in quite a few things. I don't want to say anything. I mean, not everybody gets to be president, but within reason. And again, I owe that a lot of that attitude and a lot of my successes to my mom. So again, I love you, and thanks, and happy Mother's Day. And I hope that the cake that I've never cooked before turns out well. And then let's go get some dessert. How's that sound? Okay, and I'm just going to stop talking now because, again, all we've done is cross// and triple/ here, and we're just going to keep slamming our way through here until we get to the end of the chapter, which is pretty close. So for the moment, stay bad, people, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Random question, but why did you quit being a soldier?
That is random.
You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Did you have any soldier friends? Any war buddies?
No. Not really.
Oh, okay.
I'll end this. Deal with that.
So it's my turn? You've got this.
Let's do this.
Go on!
It's on you.
I'm coming!
I got this.
So that was something?
Gotta be careful. Let's switch it up.
I'll take care of them. One more shot! Mind backing off a bit? Moving on then. Stupid ladders, always out of reach. Okay, Cloud, heading down. You're in charge of the arm. It's this way.
So again, since we don't care about the outcome of the cutscene in chapter 14 or the dresses that we're wearing coming up later in this chapter, it doesn't matter if you high five Aerith or not. But come on, you monster! Why would you leave Aerith hanging? Give her the high five. It's if you're really speed running, I don't know if skipping it or high fiving her is quicker. I guess I could time it sometime, but I'm not trying to speed run this game, so I'll just let it go. But definitely just give her the high five. It's okay. It'll work out fine. Anyway, we are now through the tube. Those of you that listened to everything thus far, I thank you for listening. Those of you that muted it, that's fine too. There was nothing substantive, so we're going to have a couple of cutscenes here, and then we're going to end up in Wall Market. And there's quite a few side quests that you can start, quite a few different places that you can go. I've got it, I think, pretty well down to the quickest route through here. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. Again, we're skipping all the cutscenes. You're welcome to watch them all. By this point in the game, if you are playing hard mode, you've already beaten it on another difficulty, so nothing is new. I've not said anything about spoilers. You know, there are spoilers. Obviously, I can't skip every cutscene fast enough necessarily. But again, I'm assuming that if you've played through this on hard mode, you've already experienced any of the story that you would like to experience. So that's why you don't hear me shouting from the rooftops about spoilers. I hope that doesn't make anyone too mad. But so we're going to come up here. We're going to talk to this guy. And then old Chocobo Sam's going to come out. And he's going to chat a bit and then ask us a question that matters for other things. But it doesn't matter for what we're doing. We're just trying to get through. We're going to skip every side quest that we're allowed to skip. We're going to complete one side quest because I think it's required to move the story forward, and it is the squats challenge. So, and we're not even going to do a good job on that. We're going to stay bad the whole chapter. We're going to only do like the level 1 squats challenge and nothing else. So we took care of Sam. Now we're heading over to the mansion. And we're going to be going back and forth, running around here a lot. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're only fighting 4 more battles in this whole chapter, but one of them's as bad as every other battle combined. So we'll get to that guy in just a little bit. But we got to come over here, and there's Johnny. I don't know if you remember Johnny, but there he goes. And that's pretty much it. There's really not a lot more to say right now. Just kind of follow where I'm going to get you the quickest. We're basically going to go to the mansion here and then over to the Honeybee Inn and then back to that Sam guy with the Chocobo and then Madam X. And then we'll be at the Colosseum, and that's when I'll come back in. So I'll see you in just a few minutes.
Let me guess. Yeah? So people can't just...
How about me then?
Maybe. You know Leslie?
Excuse?
Kinda cute.
Come on.
Do you have any idea? Aerith. Seriously?
Loud?
Denied.
And who can give it?
The trio. First, and then there's Matt. Last but not least, they're an eccentric...
Duly noted. Thanks for the info.
Supposed to go down like this.
Think so.
Just wanted to see Andrea. Let me handle it.
And why would I?
I'm not really sure. It was
You're a man of many. Whoa. Wait, here's out. Pretty please?
Why not?
Really?
Sure.
Next time we'll be.
You want in now?
How can you be so?
Damn, you.
Sure do.
Then how's about we play for it?
Heads.
Shit.
Cloud?
This exclusive.
How was it?
Huh?
You okay?
Yeah.
You're acting weird, Cloud.
I am?
Really weird.
Think you'll make a habit of it? All right then. I think I've seen everything I need to see.
So?
Tell me what you want, and we'll take it from there.
You're one of the trio, right?
And why in the world?
Really?
But
Huh?
I could never sense doing so would calm.
Is something wrong with my outfit?
It's alright, I guess.
Look, just
Sorry, we'll stop.
so long as you
How much?
what I said. But don't worry. So listen. There's an underground Colosseum. If you win the
There any prize money? Alright.
that's what they're already letting fighters inside. You should hurry. Run along.
What have we gotten ourselves into?
Nothing good. I wouldn't expect a fair fight in this town.
Think we can win it all?
That's one thing I'm definitely sure of.
I appreciate the confidence, just don't get too cocky, okay?
What's this? Your
Team.
Yes, the two of us, I need to get...
all right. Team it is. Head to the waiting area down.
Down, down, down we go. So, how deep does this thing go, you think? I wonder how many people are fighting. Hey, you're not nervous, are you?
Nope.
Really? You're even more quiet than usual.
Just trying to focus. Like you should.
Okay, so we're back and we're inside the Colosseum. We're about to do some fighting here. There will be 4 battles down here that we have to win. The first 2 are going to be against enemies that you can just use your current loadout. The second one, we're going to go ahead and switch the one materia that we have. But again, we'll go ahead and rest here, so we start with a full life bar, full HP. It's hard mode, so you do not get MP back. I'm sure I didn't mention that at the beginning, since I was all nervous about what I was going to say about my moms. Yeah, hard mode, you can't use items. You do not replenish your MP. You do get it refilled at the end of every chapter. So when you get to the last battle of the chapter, go nuts, use whatever you got, but try to conserve it if you can. Until then, the Gotterdammerung with starting every battle with your limit break really, really helps you conserve magic power of all things because you're not healing, and a lot of battles end and you don't have to use any magic at all. So that's the big reason why we do it. It takes a little while to be leveled up enough to even fight that battle, and then a little while longer to finish the battle. It took me 45 minutes to do the fight. But it is worth it to me, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of less stress in your hard mode playthrough, and also less time. I mean, it's got to be 5 or 6 hours quicker, easily, just from not having to mess around with all the attacks and stuff. So we're in the first battle here. Again, I think the one person is weak to fire and the other ones are ice, but it doesn't matter when you got this accessory. It's boom. All right, so there's one guy dead, and we're going to go right into our triple slash. And oh yeah, my limit took the first 2 people, and that was the third. That's how quick it goes. This is hard mode. Again, remember, this is the highest difficulty they got. So, by the way, all that stuff leading up to here, the decisions with the coin at Sam's and how much money you want to spend with your massage at Madame M's, none of that stuff makes any difference for our purposes. It does determine like whose quest line you get. Some of it determines what dress you wear. Like all those choices that you made up to this point. Some of it determines, there's a little cutscene in chapter 14, I think it is. And some of your choices, how you treat Tifa and Aerith especially, will determine that. That's a whole separate topic. We don't care about any of that. We're just trying to get through hard mode. The other experiences can be done in chapter select or other playthroughs. So basically we just go back to the bench, and we're going to be fighting a bunch of goons, bandits, I think, in the second battle. And again, there's no need to change our loadout. So we're just going to go right in. And we're going to take, well, at least 2, 3. It looks like 3 of them are dead. And again, our ranged attacker, I find to be one of her most effective spells is Sorcerer's Storm, which is not a ranged attack. So here I am with my ranged character, walking right into the middle of the fray, hitting everybody. That's stay bad, people. That's what we do. Well, I know the game wants you to do certain things, but I don't want to do those things, so we're going to do it my way. And I mean, again, you can do whatever's most effective for you. Don't feel like you have to do it this way. I actually have found that this battle's not going as well as it normally does. Cloud's already getting low on health. I'm going to ignore that. If he dies, I'll revive him. But yeah, I thought so. I thought we were pretty close to getting everybody done. And I want to keep the MP for Hell House. So if you get nervous when you get down in the red, casting a quick Cura spell will only take like 9 MP or something. And you have 196 with Aerith and 144 with Cloud. So you don't have to be nearly as stingy as I was. But this is not my first time through this battle, so I know I got a pretty good idea of how far they can peel my health, and I felt like I could prevail without any curing. So, and it turned out I was right. So, we generally, the essence of Stay Bad is I mentioned this to my wife when I was playing maybe this game, maybe a different one, that I like to offense people to death. As my old friend Shax used to say in the Crucible and Destiny, the enemy can't kill you if they're dead. So that's kind of my philosophy is let's make them dead and then I don't have to worry about healing at all. Whoa, okay, wow, I almost walked into this. This pays, you're going to fight two machines here, and for like 30 seconds of time, this, and since you got to change your loadout in a minute anyway, switch these guys over to lightning on both Aerith. And I mean, I guess you can switch this. You don't really need to because she doesn't, you know, we're just going to leave it. She doesn't have elemental equipped on her weapon at the moment anyway. I could switch that over, but we're trying to stay bad. I don't want to use all the mechanics. That'd be too much fun. But I'm at least going to do it with Cloud because he'll primarily be attacking, and these two are not the worst thing in the world, but they're not the best either. And since they're machines, they're weak against lightning. Doesn't hurt to just throw that on there. And then we're going to go to town. The cutter, as you noticed, has a left blade and a right blade. And, you know, I'm going to go for Infinity's End. I don't know if I'll get it. Infinity's End does the most damage of all the attacks. Oh, yeah, it worked. Okay, great. But it takes a long time. And if the person you're attacking moves, then they'll just dodge your whole attack. I don't like this cutter, and I really want to get rid of him as quick as possible. So I tend to use my hardest attacks. And even Aerith, I might use some magic. Because you see, they just kind of, like, just relentlessly start peeling your health. So we're going to throw, like, a Fira on here and see. The sweeper's not awful, but the cutter, man, he'll cut you. I mean, it's what he does. So it's sweeper. I think we might be okay. There we go. His Cloud's limit break's already over halfway here too. So if this battle continues, we might use that. They're getting down on health too, so I'm gonna spend 6 MP and use a regen. Again, she has Magnify attached to her healing, so it will put regen on both characters. And as you can see, we've already built up like another 1,000 HP on each person. So Sorcerer's Storm is great because not only is it powerful, it's also lightning based. They are weak against lightning. And let's see if we can get an Infinity's End. Again, you see how bad I'm doing at this. We haven't blocked an attack, we haven't dodged an attack, and we have prevailed. We used just a handful of MP. Again, this is how you don't get good at this game and continue to defeat enemies. And with that, we are now up to Hell House, which is a whole other can of worms. I'll do my best to give you a little philosophy. Again, I'm not big on philosophy. I hate menus. I don't like loadouts and messing around in there. I like to just play the game, and that's kind of what I'm offering a tutorial on how to do. Is just play at your leisure and not have to worry too much about switching this or adding that. I know people, and there are people that definitely love getting the perfect loadout and just watching the damage numbers skyrocket. Just, you know, instead of doing 100, you could do 450 if you set this up with that and this equipment and this accessory. I'm not really into that, so that's why I decided to do videos like this where we use as little variation as possible. That kind of goes out the window for this battle. This is Hell House. As you know, if you played before, Hell House is not immune to physical damage, but really close to immune to physical damage. Hell House will change its affinity for elemental weakness, and it'll switch between fire, ice, lightning, and wind. So we're going to equip, at least have the ability for one of our people to cast each of those 4 so that we can catch him with something that he's weak to. In order to do this, the first thing I have to do is change my materia, or change my armor for the first time in the game. And we're actually going to use, I believe, the Chain Bangle, which is on Barrett. And it'll pop up and say, do you want to trade equipment? And you hit yes. You'll keep your materia that was slotted in your other one, but Barrett will lose his 4th slot because he went down to 3. But we really need that extra slot for this, so we're going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to, with a sad heart, remove my first strike. It just charges the ATB at the beginning of a battle, and this is going to be a long battle, so I'll trade the ability to cast ice for that one time that I get an ATB charge. So that's what we're going to do up here. We're going to give Aerith fire and ice. So that's that. We're going to keep her with her healing and revive. But this 4th slot, of vital importance in my mind anyway. I've done this without poisoning Hell House, and I've done it with poisoning Hell House. And Hell House spends so much time immune to whatever you're trying to do. That poison comes in so handy. I cannot recommend it enough. There's only like 3 battles where I'm going to recommend that you use it, and that's one of them. So for Cloud, same thing. We're going to take the elemental attack off, and we're going to replace it with wind. And he's got lightning here. So, right, we got lightning and wind on him, fire and ice on her. So that's that. Healing and revive still. And instead of first strike, was I going to do something? Forget it. Let's just go. I don't like figuring out and messing around. So we're just going to leave it the way it is. As long as she can poison at the beginning of the battle, we should be all right. And I'm going to leave his accessory the same as well. We'll get at least like 3 limit breaks during this. So basically that's what we got. Hell House runs around like crazy. And not yet. I was going to do one other thing just in case. And again, I don't normally do this, but we're going to save in case this goes really poorly. I got to reload this save. That's all it's for. If you get a checkpoint, if you die, it'll just take you back to the beginning of the fight. But if I die, I have to stop the recording and try again another day. So that's the only reason we're doing it. You don't have to save. I will. Okay, so this is Hell House. I apologize if you see any jump cuts there. I had to restart the battle because I had some real-life harassment happening at home. Hopefully that won't happen again. If you're listening to this, then it definitely didn't. And we're going to go ahead and jump in and fight Hell House. I can't remember exactly what I said before the battle, but I'll kind of give you a recap. During the loadout, I mentioned this guy rotates his elemental weakness and also what he absorbs. You can tell what that is by the color of the windows in the house. However, he always starts weak against ice, so that's the first thing that we're going to do. I like to get her ATB built up to double because we're going to do a couple things right in a row. One of them is we're going to cast Blizzara, and 2 of them is we're going to give our party regen. There you go. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is that in hard mode, Hell House loves to summon a bunch of enemies to fight along with him. And unfortunately, a lot of them are Tonberries. Triple Slash will do wonders against that, and that's great. And then he's real slow, so we're going to do Infinity's End. I know I said about how he's immune, like really resistant to physical attacks. But I just can't help myself, so I'll just keep doing it. And we'll switch over from time to time and throw some Blizzaras. One other thing that we're going to do, Aerith has an ability that we have not used yet called Arcane Ward. We're going to put it on herself, and Arcane Ward will allow you to cast double magic. When you're standing in the circle, so we're just going to go braver here. So you see, we're already doing a bad job. Like Aerith's already down to 2,000. So we're just going to throw a Kirag over at her. But we want to try and kind of hit as much of the weak spell as we can. And you see that it's still... Oh, looks like we just switched. So now we're white. So that means Hell House is now weak to fire. And so we have fire. Again, I don't know if you've watched the ones that I mentioned. Sorry, gotta do something here. We're gonna, because Hell House is staggered, we're gonna hit as many physical attacks as we can. We get a cutscene. That means we've done a quarter of the damage, and now Hell House is switching modes. This would be stage 2. This is the stage where physical attacks will do a decent amount of damage. So it's definitely worth doing it if you can. Also, I learned in what has become a very typical stay bad pattern that you can go to Punisher mode and block this charge from Hell House, which is what I'm going to do right now. See that? Wow, isn't that cool? You can block attacks in this game. Who knew? Anyway, Sorcerer's Storm is great when Hell House is not immune to lightning. This is a perfect time for a limit break. If you can hit with it, which I did not. Again, that's the problem with some of these abilities, is that they take a long time to happen and enemies will move. Anyway, that did like 2,000 damage, so that's pretty good. And again, I'm just going to keep hitting them with regular. We might even do a quick Ray of Judgment here. So the reason I was talking about the Arcane Ward before I got distracted, and the reason that I never use it is that we never use magic. So, but you see, we've got, we're doing pretty good. We're already in stage 2, and which means we're over a quarter. And I'm going to try Ray of Judgment again. It missed last time, but I'm persistent, so we're just going to keep using our physical attacks. And there you go. Didn't do nothing. Going to come back with a triple slash. Maybe we'll hit him with that. We kind of did. Again, I could, at any time, I could come back here and block that charge just by pressing R1. And I stoutly refuse to do such things, so not sure why. I guess I'm just dumb, but hopefully Infinity's End will do it. And as you see, if you look down, so all right, we've got God mode up. That means we're in phase 3. And Hell House is going to be, whenever that shield is up, they'll be basically immune to every damage. So I see he's spitting out some Tonberries, so we're going to go ahead and triple slash them if we can. Yep, all right. And all right, and now we've got green, which is, gosh, I can't remember if that's weak to lightning or wind. It doesn't matter. It's already gone, and we're back in God mode. So I see the windows are white, so that's going to be fire. And I'm literally just going to sit here and wait for a chance to hit. And now we're back to green again. See, it gets a little crazy here, this third phase. And let's try, gosh, blue. I think green is thunder. So we're about to find out. Yep, it worked. Okay, so green is thunder, blue is wind, and physical attacks when the shield are down. But he's back in God mode. So even though we have a limit break, it's going to do like 4 damage. And I see no reason to do that. What we are going to do, though, is take advantage of this moment and throw some cures down so we get a little more health back. And also, because regen ran out, we're going to go ahead and throw some regen down. You can only do distance attacks. When the Hell House is up there. So I see we're looking at fire as our magic. And the shield is still up, so we can't really do anything. This is the part of the battle that starts to get really frustrating. Because, I mean, there's really no point in doing anything. Any attack you do is going to do, like, damage. Okay, and so we got wind, and we have cloud, and we're going to go ahead and do it. So let's go arrow. And I was trying to mention this before. It's hard to talk while I'm fighting, but I prefer level 2 spells because they take less time to cast, so you're less likely to get interrupted. Cure is a different deal entirely because the extra cure from it is really helpful. So we've got still blue windows, so we're going to try and get, you know what, they're not, this guy's not in God mode. Let's do it. Still not great. I mean, you saw that did like 500 damage. It was so bad. So now we're back to red windows, so we want to use ice. And Hell House took off, so we lost that cast, and Hell House took off again, so we lost that cast. Again, it's very easy to lose control of this battle. As you can see, there I did 3 damage with my hit right there, so that's what we're talking about. And now we got Tonberries up on the field again. We got Aerith looking pretty dead. I mean, it's just, like I said, this is a crazy battle, and the best thing you can do is just hit away at whatever you can. Use triple slash on the Tonberries to get them dead before they get you dead. Use the correct spell, level 2 magic spell, when you have it. Unfortunately, those were green windows, which is lightning, and my only person alive at the moment was did not have lightning. So, but we got white, so we're gonna try and hit him with a fire spell, and it worked. That was good. And I don't know if, yeah, that's the problem with the Blizzard spells, is they just don't, you know what, her square attack is doing a pretty decent job though, so we're just going to go with that. Her limit break is Healing Wind. I've been waiting to use it until somebody was really in the red, and you see why. It does a really good job. And Cloud's already got more, got another limit break ready as well. That's the power of the Gotterdammerung. Okay, and she's going to go, we're going to go for fire again. See, the problem is each one of these takes like 10, and you see Aerith's already down to like 80, 90. So she's running out of her ability to cast stuff, so we are going to stagger him though, and that is just a perfect time, because he will not move. You can hit him with cross slash, and that'll probably put him into stage 4, would be my guess. I'm going to try and get a Braver in there, and we're going to do a Kiraga down here on Aerith. You see she's a lot lower health than Cloud. So we're about halfway through our MP, and I remembered to block for a change. So, yay me. And we got blue windows, so we're going to try one of these and see if it helps. It did not, just because we got it too late, I think. That's just how we're doing it. Also, I don't know if those of you that are watching are probably laughing really hard. So remember I had that jump cut? I had a whole big thing that I was going to do, and remember to use bio. And I just now remembered to put it on here. After all that, we're in phase 4. All that talking I did about putting poison on the boss, and I forgot to do it. So stay bad, people. This is really bad. And we're in phase 4, and in phase 4, Hell House is going to be even more of a jerk and is going to summon. I'm expecting it to happen any time now, but I guess I'm bound to be disappointed. So we're gonna throw another quick Kiraga on Cloud. Hopefully he'll be able to cast it without getting interrupted. He was okay, and I believe he's going to summon. Well, you know what? I'll quit waiting for it. I'll just tell you when it's going to happen. Okay, blue is, what did we say? Arrow? Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're going to be looking for fire here in a minute. As soon as the shield goes down. Okay, now we're here. This is what I was waiting for. So, Hell House is going to spawn, Wave 4 boss is going to spawn Wave 3. And these guys can absolutely kill you. So, I'm really glad I kept Cross Slash available. I kept some ATB here because I knew it was coming. You see, he's already almost dead. And I don't know if he's going to make it to my cure spell. Yeah, he's not. So at least the cure spell works on the other people that are alive still. And I'm not even messing around. We're going straight to a rise, which will revive him with full health. This could get really bad really quick. I don't have a lot. Oh, thankfully the sweeper's almost dead. So that's one, that's one less thing to worry about. And I don't see the cutter. Did we kill him? Okay, perfect. It looks like he's dead too. He must have died in the fray. And you see Hell House is almost peeled. So I don't know exactly what happened there. But I'm cool with it because I was really close to losing control of this battle. And just a couple more hits of anything. I mean, you see like how bad she's down to 1. She got Reprieve activated, which is a weapon ability. So we're going to go ahead and cure her as well. There's getting to be not a need for it, but like, I'm not even kidding. I might just throw a level 1 spell. I mean, it's slivers at this point. So, or we'll just stand here and press square. That seems to be the best way to do it. So there it is. That was Hell House. I hope you learned a few things. I don't know. It's such a crazy, chaotic battle. There's so many things happening. I'm trying to focus while I'm trying to talk. So I really hope that you were able to kind of understand the mechanics of it and what to do. Obviously, look at the color of the windows. Hit the opposite spell. If it's red, use ice. If it's white, use fire. If it's green, use lightning. If it's blue, use air. For crying out loud, poison the boss when you start. That would have saved like at least 5 minutes. And save your summon and a limit break when it gets low until those 2 machines come up and go. You can hit them with Sorcerer's Storm. That's lightning based. It'll do good. Limit breaks are good. Summoning Ifrit would have been fine. I never even got a chance to. They were dead by the time I got alive again. So there's a lot of things that you can do in that stage. But once you get to that point and you kill those 2 machines, you're pretty much home free. You can even just sit there and spam square with Aerith and it'll take them down eventually. So that's pretty much it. for this chapter. Actually, there's going to be a lot of things happening, but I'm just, gosh, I've just done nothing but talk for over an hour now. Um, I'm not sure if I'm going to break this into two videos or not. I guess you'll find out once I start uploading it and stuff. Maybe YouTube will make me. But anyway, we are done here, and we're going to go ahead and do what's required to get out of this chapter. There's no more battles, I don't think, other than a few at the very, very end with Aerith and Tifa. But yeah, so I'm going to step out for a little bit. In the meantime, stay bad, and I'll see you at the end of the chapter.
You're here. Good. Just one thing before. How a person. All right. Once. All right then. Let's get started. Beauty takes a lot of work and preparation. Far more than you'd know. In the meantime, there ought to be things you can only do with it. Now's your chance. Though being so new to it, I assumed you still wouldn't know how to enjoy. So I went and had a chat.
Hey, no one asked you to do that.
But there's so much. This is the and that's enough opportunity.
Oh boy.
The dress is part of it, sure. But we'll also need to do something about.
Ouch. Well,
Peek, and I'll poke out your eye.
Howdy. Madam, let me see if I can. Hidden. If I can see what. Ain't nothing wrong. Knowing the ways, reckon I gotta. You have yourself a grand time tonight.
come on, you guys.
Never seen you before.
Jules, if you've got some.
Look at him.
Now, what do you say, Cloud? If you want to give it a go, So,
Ha! Got no idea.
all right, we'll settle now. Let's all see what you've got.
You ready to do this?
You should try to get into a rhythm. That's how it's done. Not bad at all. You've got this. Come on. I knew you could do it. Your form's looking good. Not bad at all. You've got this. Come on. I knew you could do it. That's how it's done. I knew you could do it. Your form's looking good. You've got this. Come on. Not bad at all. You've got this. Come on. I knew you could do it. Your form's looking good. That's how it's done. You've got this. Come on. I knew you could do it. Your form's looking good. Not bad at all. Your form's looking good. You've got this. Come on. I knew you could do it. That's how it's done. I knew you could do it. Not bad at all. You've got this. Come on. Your form's looking good. You've got this. Come on. That's how it's done. I knew you could do it. Ready? Ronnie, you know you're too quick to that. Thanks for helping me, Cloud. If you're ever up.
take a deep breath.
I heard corn. I just.
Well, I do.
I'll come too. Hey, Cloud, bro. I can call you bro, right?
Nope.
Just want to say, bro, that I'm totally relieved that you're looking out for Tifa. So, like, how'd you get so strong anyway, bro?
I said.
The way you fight, bro, is like poetry and violence. Bam, bam, whoosh, whoosh. You know? I really wish I could be just like you. My problem is that I tend. Well, this is it for me. Call me crazy. Yes, sir.
You again? Got a letter of approval right here. Hmm? Yeah, it's who? Well, either way, yours. I wasn't asking. Huh? Wouldn't try it if you even think. And that's someone, or it could wind up. Get it? You're in the Dons. Anyway, you've got. If you're sure you want, but if I were you, I would.
Look at you all dolled up and fabulous. Where are you headed?
Well, what do we have here? You're quite the pretty little lady. Hey there, cutie. Where you headed? Why don't you let me buy you a cup of coffee?
That dress is completely overshadowed.
You're like a beautiful flower.
This is it. Your destination.
Why are we here?
To see the hunt. You said you didn't. It'll be fun.
What?
It's pretty rare. Trust me.
Uh,
Come on.
wait.
No can't. So, here's Madam Emsa. So I say we march right up to him, explain the situation.
As if you're not here to talk with the honey boys.
Good evening. Welcome.
We're here to see Andre.
You must be Mr.
Mr. Cloud?
I've been instructed.
What stage?
The one in the back, sir. Straight through those doors and down.
I've dreamt of this moment. The honeybee inn.
And here's the man chosen by our honored. Come on, come on! The show's about to start!
today blew my mind.
Hey, look at me. I can dance too. How much did you drink tonight?
Over
I
here.
can't help it.
I'll buy
It
you
was
a drink.
amazing.
We can talk.
Was it planned from the start?
Probably not. Did you see their look of surprise?
I can tell her dress is kind of cheap. It shows.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Please don't. Not a word.
Not even one?
No.
But you're so pretty.
Okay, so I'm going to just take a quick moment here and fill your ears with some more commentary as we're walking back to the mansion. So that last little mini game with Andrea, whatever his name is, that's the kind of content. If you're going to add something in a remake, I feel like that's great content to do. It's easy. It's a button mini game, which was common in the original. I don't know if you saw my previous video, but the old original is my favorite game of all time. And so the remake has a pretty high bar. I feel by and large they lived up to those expectations. But yeah, I mean, it's easy, it's funny, it keeps in line with the tone of the old Honeybee and Wall Market kind of thing. The side quests in here in this chapter are also pretty reminiscent of that. Like with the fetch quests and the getting stuff at the pharmacy and all that stuff. Just, I feel like really good way to do it. As opposed to a few other ones coming up where I feel like it's if the kind of content that you would not want to add when you got to expand it. But I just thought that was really funny that they got everybody in a dress, like just like in the original. The way they got there was really funny. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If you disagree, I'd love to hear it in the comments. I love talking about stuff like this. Try to keep it to a minimum with this playthrough because it is hard mode and it is, you know, very much gameplay related. But yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there that I thought that mini game was dancing was really, really funny. So that's all I got to say. We are coming very close to the end, so I will be right back on the mic. But I'll just let this play out for a little bit, and we'll see you in a second.
So what happens now?
I think they'll call for us when it's time. This room gives me the creeps.
Well,
Now, ladies, listen up. I'm sure you're still feeling a bit woozy, but tonight's audition's about to begin. Head out the door to the left and up the stairs. Come on, ladies, let's hustle.
All right, guys, let's do this.
do you want to do this?
Okay, let's go rescue Cloud. Corneo's room, right?
Better hurry. Better hurry.
Okay, so we're coming up on the end here. You can go down there and fight a couple guys, get another Fury Ring if you need it. I'm not a big fan of that accessory except for grinding materia. It doubles, I think, doubles the damage you take. So just, you know, but you're welcome to go fight that battle if you want. This is I probably could change my loadout here and make this a little easier, but there's really no need. We're fine. We're gonna we're gonna stay bad. We're just gonna hide all the way over here. I could go over there and do some stuff, but oh, it looks like he's coming at me. Better do something. How about a Ray of Judgment? There you go. I figured with the corridor, he really couldn't move out of the way. That's the only downside with those big ones like that, is it's really easy to dodge. So, and you waste 2 ATB bars with that. But anyway, we are here. Old Don Corneo, you know, he's kind of a piece of work, but we got to make our choice to solve the riddle. Again, I don't believe that it has any bearing on the story whatsoever. So I picked that one because I think it's the right answer. And that is it for Chapter 9 on hard difficulty. You see it pops up there. You can, if you need to go back and do a chapter, basically once you've completed a chapter on hard mode, you can do them in any order. You don't have to do it consecutive, or if you need to level up or go get an accessory you missed, you can go back to the other chapters and you'd be okay. But anyway, this is definitely one of the most eventful of the chapters. We did Hell House on hard mode. And, you know, we laughed, we cried, we had a good time. Hopefully you learned some things, and let me know in the comments if there's anything I could do better. This is my first series of YouTube videos. It's about the 10th one now, and I feel like I get, you know, a little more comfortable each time. Anyway, I'll catch up to you in Chapter 10, and until then, stay bad, people. Non-gone is gone.